So let's start. Are you capable to see the screen? Is it visible to you, everyone? The screen is visible to you? Okay. Hello, everyone. Are you there? Voice
Yes,
and
Sayesh.
presentation. So let's start with the basic numerical, just a brush up of content which you have already seen in university subject. Okay. Can you find out value of V1 and I1? Can you find out the value of V1 and I1 in the given numerical? Just give it a try at least. What would be the value of V1 and I1 in the given numerical? You have full liberty to apply KVL, KCL, mesh. If you want to apply any network theorem, doesn't matter. Okay. Let's have a interactive discussion. Here our target is to find out value of V1 and I1. I1 you can simply see. Yeah, I1 is given. This is I1, which is current flowing through 1 ohm, right? And this is V1, which is voltage across this one. After taking one or two simple numerical, we will come over to node analysis. Node analysis, initial problem, we will take one sample university numerical, then we will take some tricky numerical related to gate exams. Okay, and you will see the difference between the problem comes in university and problem comes in gate exams. But before that, let's have a simple numerical just to brush up the previous concept. Here, our target is to find out value of V1 and I1. It's simple. Simple
Sir,
logic.
V1 equals to 5 volt.
Simple. Voltage, parallel.
Yes.
These two are
Parallel.
parallel. Okay. So no need.
I1 equals
Simple.
to 5.
V1 equals to 5 volt. Simple logic. And what would be the value of I1? Simple.
5,
Divided.
5 ampere.
Okay. So simple. Okay.
Yes.
Then R equals to 2 ohm, A dash, and this one is A, 1, 1, and 1 ampere. Find current through R. If this was asked in 92 IAS exam. Find current through 2 ohm if voltage source of 2 volt, 1 ohm is connected at A dash A with positive at A dash. Okay. How you can find out? Just a moment, let me start it. Okay. Question is in front of you. Our target is to find out current flowing through two resistance means current flowing through this branch, and one more addition is there. If a voltage source of 2 volt comma 1 ohm is connected at A dash, means one voltage source should be connected over here between A dash and A, right, with a value of 2 volt and 1 ohm. Along with this, positive is connected to A dash. This is also given, means I can simply draw one voltage source. If it is a voltage, so definitely internal resistance will be in series. Okay, so it should be like this: 2 volt and internal resistance 1 ohm. This one is correct. Okay. Now, how you can find out current flowing through R, which is this one? And number of methods can be applied. Okay. Chalo. Let's start with the nodal analysis. Okay. First of all, clear the concept about the node. What is node exactly and what is junction? Definition of node: which particular point can be considered as a node, or which particular point can be considered as a junction? If any point at which minimum, look at this circuit, any point through which minimum two elements are connected, that particular point can be considered as node. Means for node, minimum two elements should be connected, maximum can be any quantity. Okay. Then junction, at any point minimum three elements are connected, then that particular point can be considered as a junction. Okay, so for node, requirement is minimum two elements should be connected, maximum no limit. For junction, minimum three elements should be connected, maximum no limit. Okay, means in short, you can say that every junction is a node. Means if particular point is a junction, means definitely minimum three elements are connected. So definitely you can consider that particular point as a node. Means remember one thing, you might get confused this, that you can consider any particular point as a node through which two elements are connected. No. In nodal analysis, we actually refer junction. Since every junction is a node, that's why we call it as a nodal analysis. Means in short, whenever I will be saying that, look at the node, how many number of nodes are there in the circuit, you will be finding out junction actually to find out junction, and that junction will be considered as a node. By nodal analysis is concerned, means we need to select any point through which minimum three elements are connected. This is the short conclusion of this. Okay. So if this is the problem, and if we need to solve it by nodal analysis.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
सर स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है.
Green. Oh, sorry. You should have told me this earlier. Okay, now you might have got clear idea about definition of node and junction. What is the node? Any point through which minimum two elements are connected, that is a node. Any point through which minimum three elements are connected, that is a junction. Okay, simple difference between node and junction is, for node, minimum two elements should be connected, maximum can be any quantity. For junction, minimum three elements should be connected, maximum can be any quantity. Clear? Then, for solving numerical of nodal analysis, there is a confusion here. Okay, actually, it's a name given is nodal analysis. So by seeing the name, you can consider that you can consider any point through which minimum two elements are connected, because actually node is what? Through which minimum two elements are connected. But in nodal analysis problem, actually you will be choosing junction. Means you cannot consider any point through which minimum two elements are connected. You will have to choose that point only through which minimum three elements are connected. Means in short, in all the nodal analysis problems, whether it is related to university or whether it is related to gate, you are actually considering junction. And as every junction is a node, then you can call it as a node analysis. Means in short, whenever I will be saying that select number of nodes to find out number of nodes, you will be looking for junction, means minimum 3 elements should be connected. This is the conclusion. Okay, so in this particular numerical, if I try to find out the number of nodes connected in the circuit, so this can be considered as a node, because our requirement for node is minimum 3 elements should be connected. Element may be passive, active, doesn't matter. So at this point, 1 ampere, 1 ohm, and this 1 ohm, minimum 3 elements are connected, means this particular point can be considered as a node. Okay, suppose if this branch were not available in this particular circuit, then I cannot call this particular point as a node, because at this point minimum 3 elements should be connected. But now here we have only 2 elements connected with this particular point, so this particular point cannot be considered as a node for solving numerical of node analysis. But actually, conceptually, by referring definition, this is a node, but
Sir,
we are junction for node analysis. Yes,
सर वो स्क्रीन ना शेयर हो रहा है, ऐसे लिख कर आ रहा है लेकिन अभी भी स्क्रीन नहीं दिख रही है.
okay. Any one of you, do you have any screen recorder with you? Can you record the screen? Actually, this might be the problem with the screen recorder. So I'm stopping here. Can any one of you record the screen of your mobile screen? Do you have any screen recorder with you? Default installed in your mobile app. If you don't have that, just leave it. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now, just confirm,
Yes, sir.
are you able to see the screen or not? Now, is it okay? Okay, so this was a problem related to screen recorder. So if any one of you is having a screen recorder, please start recording. Then I will collect this particular video from you. Okay, actually it is needed by the AICQ to upload whether the lecture was conducted properly or not. Okay. Okay, so you might have got the clear idea about the node and junction. So in this particular numerical, this particular point, I'm talking about this point. This point can be considered as a node. This point also be considered as a node. But if suppose this branch were not connected, then I would not be able to call this particular point as a node. But as per the definition, this is a node. But don't forget that for solving node analysis, we actually refer junction. So this particular point is not a junction, because for junction, our requirement is minimum 3 elements should be connected. Okay. So now I cannot call this particular point as a node for node analysis numerical. Okay. If one element were connected, then I would be able to call this particular point as a node. Okay. So now in this particular numerical, this branch is connected, so I can consider this particular point as a node. This can also be considered as a node. Again, 3 elements are connected. Then this complete point, this is a complete one node. Okay, this complete one node. Okay, so minimum in this particular numerical, we have how much node do we have? Here we have node number 1, node number 2, and node number 3. Okay, so you might have seen in university numerical that one of the node has to be considered as the reference node whose potential will be 0. Okay, so which particular node can be considered as a reference node? Any node can be considered as a node, reference node, but it would be quite easy for solving numerical if you consider that particular node as a reference through which maximum elements are connected. So maximum elements are connected with this bottom node. Okay, here 4 elements are connected. Okay, with this node. Okay, so this node number 3 will be considered as a reference node. Okay. So I will consider this as a reference node, and the potential of the reference node will be 0. Okay. We will see conventional method also, which we used to prefer for solving university numerical, and then tricky method also, which you must prefer for solving tricky numericals. Okay. Now here we have actual 2 nodes. Okay, node number 1 and node number 2. What was our method to apply KCL? If anyone remembers. Now, we were selecting any particular node, actual node, and element connected with the same node. Now count the element connected through this particular node at node 1. Actual node is node 1 and node 2. This is your reference node. So forget about the reference node. Here we have only two actual nodes, means we will be having two equations of KCL. Okay, and we will writing down and try to solve or get out the value whatever it is. Okay, this is the node number 1 and this is node number 2. Look at the element, all the element connected with node number 1. Node number 1, this 1 ohm is connected, this 1 ohm is connected, as well as this 1 ampere is connected. Okay, so how I can write the value of KCL? How I can apply KCL at this particular point? Okay, what was the method to apply KCL? We had some certain sign convention. Suppose I assume direction of current. This is the actual method, but we are not going to see prefer this. This is the current coming from here. It will get divided at this particular point. If I, for the time being, consider this as I1 and this as I2. Now, apply KCL at this point, node 1. Formula of KCL: incoming current 1 ampere is equals to outgoing current, and outgoing current is here I1 and I2. Okay. Now, how I can replace this value of I1? This is my node voltage V1. So can I write I1 will be V1 minus 0 divided by 1, because the value of current I1 is this. I1 is the current flowing through this branch, and if I need to find out this I1, I will have to look at the potential difference between the two terminals at the both ends of this branch. One end it is having V1 and at other end it is having zero potential, means my I1 will be potential difference across this branch divided by impedance, and the potential difference is V1 minus 0 divided by 1. I cannot write 0 minus V1 because direction of current from higher potential to lower potential. If you are considering this as the direction of current, you will have to write V1 minus 0. If you are considering this as the direction of current, you may write 0 minus V1 divided by 1. Okay, so I can write here V1 minus 0 divided by 1. Okay, again for applying KCL at any particular node, you don't need to write down all this. You need to simply apply KCL. How? Let me. Now, you simply look at the passive elements. How many number of passive elements connected with node V1? We have this 1 ohm, we have this 1 ohm. No need to write down this I1 and I2 again, and not even its direction. It is simply having a voltage of V1, and this one is having a voltage of V2. Passive element, sign convention for passive element: positive. For this element, voltage across this element, it may be considered as V1 minus V2 or V2 minus V1, but we are applying KCL at node 1. So our node 1 means V1 will be considered as a higher potential. So means I will be writing V1 minus V2 divided by 1. Okay. Now for this particular resistance, again potential drop across this resistance may be either V1 minus 0 or 0 minus V1, but we are applying KCL at node 1. So consider node 1, that is V1, is at higher potential. So I will be writing V1 minus 0. So V1 minus 0 divided by 1. Okay, because voltage across this branch is V1 and V2. So I am writing V1 minus V2 divided by 1, and voltage across this branch is V1 and this one is 0. So I am writing V1 minus 0 divided by 1. Now, source. If there is a current source, look at the direction of the current source, whether it is toward that node or away from the node. If it is toward, then you will be writing minus. Okay, it will be right. I will be writing here minus I1, and if it is away, I will be writing plus. So it will be minus 1 ampere equals to 0. For simplification, this will be 1 by 1. Again, this will be 1 by 1. Okay, and will be V2 by 1. And look, this is conventional method which we used to prefer. Okay, you must not refer this. Okay, we will see how we can write it directly. Now, equation of node 2. Equation of node 2. Forget about this. Equation. Apply KCL at node 2. If I am going to apply KCL at node 2. At node 2, number of passive elements 1, 2, and 3. 3 elements are connected. Okay, total 3 elements are connected at node 2. So write down. How I will be writing down this one? Now my V2 will be considered as a higher potential. So I will be writing down V2 minus V1 divided by 1. So its sign convention will be positive. So V2 minus V1 divided by 1. Thereafter, for this one, V2 minus 0 divided by 2. V2 minus 0 divided by 2. Thereafter, for this one, what will be the voltage across this particular one? It will be V2 minus. Now I cannot write V2 minus 0 because at this branch, if I'm speaking about this particular branch, the voltage across both the terminal, one is V2, another one is 0. So I can write simply V2 minus 0. This will be the voltage across this branch, V2 minus 0. But this is not the case with this particular branch. This is 1 ohm. This is V2. And at another side, it is having plus 2 volt. So I will be writing V2 minus plus of 2. Okay. So I will be writing here V2 minus plus of 2 divided by how much? It is 1 ohm. And one more thing, if the polarity of the voltage source, were connected like this. Now I would be writing V2 minus of 2 volt. Associated polarity is this minus. Okay. So here now I'll have to write down this minus 2, but this is not the case. Here it is having simple plus volt, so I can write simple plus 2. So V2 minus plus divided by 1. Is there any sources connected with this particular node? No, we don't have any current source connected with this particular node. So I can simply write equal to 0. Now we can rearrange it. So this will be minus V1 by 1. Now with V2, we have n number of elements. Keep it in bracket 1 by 1, 1 by 2, and again this is 1 by 2 and 1 by 1, sorry. And this will be minus of 2 by 1, so minus of 2 by 1. After shifting to right hand side, it will become plus 2 by 1. This is your equation number 2. This is actually a conventional method which we prefer. If you want to solve it speedily, don't refer this. It will be better to write down directly. How you can write it directly? Look at this. Okay. Now, I have already considered here that this is your node voltage V1, this is your node voltage. Okay. Now, for writing down equation at node 1, so simply consider, look at the element connected with node 1, all the passive element. We have one. Just take the reciprocal of all the element, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. Simple. Okay. Now, if any associated voltage means any node voltage which is connected at the other end of the branches connected with the same node. Here we have V2, here we have 0. So 0, it is of no use. So V2, we can write V2. Write it with a negative sign. You can directly write with V2 divided by reciprocal 1 divided by 1. Okay. Now, is there any current source? Yes, we have a current source which is 2 equals to 0. Now you can rearrange it. Now, for V2, this may be considered as a simple method to write down directly. You might be getting confused as we are taking this first time. Okay, in next numerical, you will get used to with it. Now with node 2, I have 3 passive elements. Simply write reciprocal 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 1 by 1. Finish. Is there any other node? Yes, we have it. This one. Okay. I will have to write minus V1 divided by 1. Okay. Now, one more thing. We have one more voltage, which is this. So minus of this voltage is 2. Earlier we were having this voltage is V1. That's why I would be writing V1 minus of V1 by 1. Now I'll have to write minus of 2 by 1. Minus of 2 divided by 1. Divide by 1 by impedance is equals to. We don't have any current source connected. Okay? This particular equation and earlier which we wrote, this particular equation is same. Okay. Now, this problem is well basic. Now, moving on to actual numerical. Okay. Now, find I. Okay. From here itself, look at very carefully which type of problem comes in. Not university, not sorry, in competitive exams. Okay, this will be complicated. Let's take some other. Let me first make sure whether you have understood the method properly. Now, simple. Again, it's a simple numerical. Let's first identify the number of nodes connected in the circuit. How many number? No, how many nodes do we have in this particular numerical? Nodes. Identify the nodes. Total number of nodes. This one can be considered as node 1. Can I write V1? Then this one can be considered as node 2. Is it correct or not?
No, sir.
Node 1 and node 2. Is it correct or not?
No, sir.
No.
Same potential रहेगा ना?
It's the same potential. Repeat your mic off. कर दो. Okay. This cannot be considered as a different node. It's the same node. Okay. If suppose if any branch were connected over here, suppose if we have a 3 resistance connected over here, then I would call it as separate node. This is V1, this is V2, but this is not the case. Okay. Here I'll have to consider this as a complete node. Okay. So this is connected with node 1. So you will be saying 2 ampere, this 2, this 3, and this 5. All these elements are connected with node 1. Okay. Now, again, this is your node 2. I can consider it as V2. Okay. Now, this is your complete node 1. Okay. This is your complete node 1. This can be considered as node 3. But we should consider this as a reference node at a potential of 0 volt. Okay. Now, if I apply conventional method to write down the KVL equation, sign convention for impedances, you will be considering positive. For current source, if current source is showing towards the node, you will be writing minus, and away from the node, you will be writing plus. Okay. Plus V1 minus 0 divided by 2, right? This one is completed. Now, for this V1 minus V2, V1 minus V2 divided by 5. Then for this V1 minus of क्या रहेगा? Minus of plus 4. V1 minus of plus 4 divided by 3. Now last is your current source. It is towards will be negative. We can rearrange it. How we can write it directly? Let's consider it V1. V1. Look at the elements, or the elements connected with node 1. So 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 1 by 2, 1 by 3, and 1 by 5. Finish. Now, node V2. So with V2, minus V2 divided by 5. Divided by 5. Now, we have one more node voltage, 4. It is plus 4. ठीक है, कॉमन वाला है तो आपको अगेन माइनस लेना पड़ेगा. माइनस ऑफ प्लस 4 divided by 3. Then current source towards negative. You can write it down. It's the same, first one and second. Okay. Similarly, we can write down equation of node 2. I think I should leave this problem. It's a basic. You already know this, so better to skip. You can solve it. Okay. Let's take some actual numerical, or you will be getting bored. Now, okay. This is 10. This is I1. This is 20. And this is 30. And this and find Vx. Now, how we can find out the value of Vx? You will be receiving such type of a numeric, not the symbol one, just to check whether you know how to apply KCL or node analysis or what. Okay, no. Now, look at the node. How many nodes do we have in this particular numerical? Can I call this particular point as a node? Can I call this particular point as a node for node analysis numerical? No, minimum 3 elements should be connected. Okay, this point can be considered as a node Vx plus bottom one. This can also be considered as a node. So this will be a reference node. So reference node at 0 potential means actual node. If you're talking about actual node, we have only one actual node, which is Vx. Okay, so we can write down the equation of Vx right node by simple direct method. 2, 10, and this one 30. We have 3 elements connected with node Vx. One is 2 ohm, another one is your 10 ohm, and last one is your 30 ohm. Okay, simple write down Vx. Write down the reciprocal 1 by 10, 1 by 2, then 1 by 30. Right? You could have written conventional method also by applying Vx minus 0 divided by 2, Vx minus of plus 50 divided by 30, Vx minus of 30 minus 7 divided by 10. This is also okay, but this will be a best one. 1 by 2, 1 by 10, 1 by 30. Okay, now current source towards negative minus 2. Now voltage, this particular voltage, how I will be writing down this one and how I will be writing down this one. I'll have to consider minus of plus 50 divided by impedance, and this minus of minus 30 I have divided by 10. Are you getting this particular point? This is the voltage connected at the other end of the impedance connected with Vx. Again, this is also a voltage which is connected at the other end of the impedance connected with Vx. So we'll have to consider these two voltages also, right? So this particular voltage, how I will be writing down in conventional way? How I can write down? Conventionally, how I can write down? Vx minus of plus 50, right? Divided by how much it is? It is 30. But this particular method is not going to help you for too long. That's why I'm not recommending you this one. Okay, try to write down directly. We are not solving university numerical. For university numerical, it is must. For competitive related numerical, this is not desired. Okay, so you must able to write down it directly. How we can write down directly? Minus of plus 50 divided by this complete 30. Okay, so minus of this plus 50 divided by complete impedance, that is 30. Now again for this one, minus of first polarity. What is the first polarity? Here is minus. Here first polarity is plus. That's why I wrote here minus of plus 50. Now I'll have to write here minus of minus. So minus of minus 30 I1. So minus of minus 30 means ये हो जाएगा plus. This will be 30 I1 divided by how much? It will be 10. Now right, you can write down equal to 0. This will be your equation number 1. This will be your equation number. Okay. So Vx, here we need to find out the value of Vx. How we can find out value of Vx? If you see this particular equation, we have two unknown variables. One is Vx and another one is your I1. So can I call this as the dependent source? Is it dependent source or independent source? Independent source must not contain any variable. Okay? This is the dependent source. Means magnitude of this particular voltage source will be dependent upon I1, and I1 is the current flowing through this branch. It is mentioned over here. It will run in the circuit. You can see simply I1. This is your I1. Okay. This is your. Okay. What can be done now to find out the value of I1? Here we know if we can get the value of I1 by any method, we can easily calculate the value of Vx. We have one equation. We cannot find out, write down other nodal equation, as we have simple one node in this particular network. Another one is your reference. Reference, that's okay. One node, one equation. Now, what can be done? You will have to apply simple logic. You can apply KVL, KCL in branch or in loop or in mesh, whatever you want. This particular point is considered as Vx, and this particular point, voltage of this particular point is 0, and the voltage of this particular point is Vx. Vx minus 0 means the overall voltage of this branch can be considered as Vx. Vx minus 0 means the total voltage across this branch can be considered as Vx. Am I right? Total voltage across this branch can be considered as Vx. Suppose voltage of this particular point were, let's say, 3. Okay, now I would have to write this Vx minus 3 across this branch, but now this is the 0 volt, so I can simply write over here this is the voltage across complete branch, which is Vx. So I can mark it Vx. This complete voltage can be considered as Vx. Is it correct or not? Is it correct? Are you getting this particular point? How I am writing down it? 10 and this is 20. How I am writing it down? Are you getting it? Can I write it Vx or not? If suppose we have chosen this voltage of reference is 3 volt, for example, then I would have to write here Vx minus 30, right? Sorry, Vx minus 3. But this is not the case. We have chosen reference voltage is 3 volt or 0 volt. That's why I can write Vx minus 0 means which is equal to 0 means complete voltage across this particular branch is Vx. Okay. Now, can I apply KVL over here in this particular loop? If I apply KVL in this particular loop, assume any direction of current. Let's assume I1. Okay. This is your I1. This is your I1. Current flowing through this branch I1. Okay. Now apply KVL in this particular loop. We know the voltage across this complete branch. Don't need to write separately 10 and this 30 I1. We know the voltage across this complete branch is your Vx. Okay, Vx. So if I'm applying KVL, I can write minus of Vx. This will be minus. This will be plus. Okay, so minus Vx. Then voltage across this. What will be the voltage across this? 20 into I1. We know the current flowing through this branch. It has been mentioned in the numerical itself. 20 into I1 will be the voltage across this. Then 10 into I1 will be the voltage across this. Then this is itself a voltage. We can simply write it. Okay. So if I am going to apply KVL in this particular loop, how I can write it? Simply look at it. Okay. Minus of Vx minus of Vx. Then first of all, you will have to mark the polarity. How I can mark the polarity? Polarity of this impedance. Impedance. For impedance, current should enter from positive or negative. For passive element, current should enter from positive. Current should enter from positive. Okay. So now minus Vx plus of 20 I1 plus of 20 I1, then plus of 10 I1 plus of 10 I1 and plus 50 and plus 50 equal to 0. Is it okay? Are you comfortable with this particular equation? How I have written over here? Or do you have any doubt with this? Please let me know. Urval, Santushti, Anam.
Yes, sir.
Are you getting this particular equation? How I'm writing it down? Okay. Shall I draw the neat and clean diagram for this? Are you getting confused? This was the actual circuit. This was our 50 volt. Okay. This is 10. This is 20. And in question itself, it has been marked I. And this is your 30 I. This is your 30 I. And this was 10. And this was Vx. Okay. Now this was our reference at zero potential. Okay. Now in equation 1, we have seen that after applying KCL at node Vx, we have got this particular equation in which we have Vx as well as I1. We have two unknown variables, but in question our target is to find out value of Vx. Our target is to find out the value of Vx, but now we cannot find out because in our equation we have two variables. Two variable cannot be solved by using simple one equation. We must have one more equation, but we cannot apply KCL at any other node because we have only single node which is Vx. This is the reference node. Okay, so means we have only one equation. So we'll have to apply some different logics either by KVL or any other method. Okay, so can I call this particular branch voltage as Vx? Because V, look at this point very carefully. This is the voltage across this particular point is Vx, and voltage across this complete point is 0. Means I can write the voltage across total this complete branch as Vx. Okay, I can write down complete Vx. Okay, because the complete voltage across this branch is Vx and minus 0. So this will be complete Vx minus 0 means Vx. You can also call voltage across 2 ohm is 0, Vx itself. This is also Vx. So Vx minus 0 means voltage across 2 ohm will also be Vx. Voltage across 2 ampere, here we have Vx, here we have 0 means voltage across this 2 ampere will also be your total Vx. Okay. Now, can I apply KVL in this particular loop in clockwise direction? Okay. In previous lecture, I mentioned one important crucial point, that is if you have a passive element, means current should enter from positive, and if you have an active element, current should enter from negative. No matter, you can first give first mark polarity or first mark current. If you have first mark polarity, means the direction of current should be such that it should enter with positive for passive and with negative in active. Okay, and if you have already selected the direction of current, means you must mark polarity accordingly to maintain the same status. So here we have direction of current. You can see I1. Here I1 is already, direction of I1 is already given, which is flowing through 20 as well as 10. How I can mark the polarity across this? It's a passive element, means for passive element, current should enter from positive. If current should enter from positive, means definitely I'll have to mark this one as positive and this one as negative. Again, this one as positive and this one as negative. Right? Then for Vx, definitely this is positive and this is negative. Now, I can apply KVL in this loop, and the voltage across this complete branch is your Vx. Consider any polarity, either consider entering polarity of all the voltage or consider leaving polarity of all the voltage. If I'm considering clockwise direction and I'm considering entering polarity of all the voltage, means entering polarity of Vx will be minus, this is minus. Then voltage across this will be entering polarity plus Voltage across this will be again anti-polarity plus. Voltage across this one will be again anti-polarity plus. Okay. So simply I will be writing down minus of Vx, minus of Vx plus. I am replacing this complete branch by writing down simply Vx. Okay. This is the actual logic of this particular numerical. Minus Vx plus voltage across this. Voltage across this sign will be considered positive because we are ending from positive. So positive. I cannot write simply 20. For voltage drop, I'll have to write I into R. Okay. So this is 20 and current flowing through this is I1. This will be 20 into I1. Again plus 10 into I1. 10 into I1. And then for this particular 50 volt, this will be entering from positive to plus. Now, you can find out the value of I1 in terms of Vx. Okay. We can find out in terms of Vx. You will have this PDF after the completion of the class. Okay. So I1, how I can write down I1? This will be 30 I1 minus 50. So my I1 will be Vx minus 50 divided by 30. So now I have this particular equation I1, and second one in this particular in first equation where we had our first equation, where it is on this one. Okay. Now Vx. So Vx 1 by 10, 1 by 2, and 1 by 30 equal to plus 2 plus 50 by 30. I can simply shift it over here. Then 30. So 30 by 10. In place of I1, I can write which one? This equation. This one will become Vx minus 50 divided by 30. Minus 50 divided by 30. In this particular equation, we have only one variable unknown, which is Vx. We can solve it very easily. Okay, you can find out the value of Vx now. Okay. This was the basic idea how to solve little complex numerical. Okay. What a special thing which we see over here, that if you are getting any particular, we are getting more unknown. Okay, in any branch, consider it as another equivalent voltage source that you can apply KVL to reduce the number of variables. Okay, if in the same numerical, solve it and get the value of Vx. Let me assume that the value, let's Vx is coming out to be 20. And in the same numerical, if it is asked to find out current through 2 ohm, what will be the current through 2 ohm? Now we have received the value of Vx. What will the current through 2 ohm? Voltage across 2 ohm will be Vx. You can simply mark any current. Let's assume I2. We have Vx, which is also the voltage across 2 ohm. So I2 will be Vx divided by 2. Okay. Now, if it is asked to find out power delivered by 2 ampere source, power delivered by 2 ampere source. So for power delivered or power absorbed, you will be using simply V into I. Means we must have voltage across this 2 ampere source as well as current of this 2 ampere source. We have the current, which is 2 ampere. What is the voltage across this 2 ampere? It's again Vx. It is connected in parallel. So voltage across 2 ampere will be Vx, and Vx is 20. So 20 into 2 means 40. 40 watt power. You can consider it either as absorbed power or as power delivered by P equals to V into I. Okay, V into I. What is the current? We know the voltage 50. What is the current? Current is your I1. Again, we have I1 also. We have calculated the value of Vx. So after getting value of Vx, we can easily find the value of I1 by putting the value of Vx over here. So let me assume any particular value. I have the answer. I1 is minus. Okay. We have Vx as well as I1. Now for this particular circuit, if it has asked to find out power absorbed and power delivered, different. Okay, if it has asked to find out power delivered by 50 volt source, then I will be simply writing down voltage across, voltage is your 50 multiply by I1. If this source you are considering it as an active element, if you are considering it as active element, then only you can consider it as it particular source is delivering power. If it is passive, then it might be absorbing. Okay, if you are finding out absorbed power means current should enter from negative or positive. For absorbed power means you are considering it as a passive element. Okay, for passive element, current should enter from positive, means here current is entering from positive. So this is the correct direction of current. So I must write here I1, and the value of I1 is your -1. So this is your -1. So this will be your -50. So -50 is your absorbed power. Okay. Instead of absorbed power, if we need to find out delivered power, so for delivered power, direction of current will be changed. Okay, for delivered power means you are considering this particular source as delivering power, means this is an active element, and for active element, current should enter from negative. So current will enter from negative to right here minus of, and the value of I1 is -1. So 50 into minus of -1 will be +1. So this will be 50 watt positive. So this plus 50 watt will be your delivered power. Are you getting the concept of how to calculate delivered power or absorbed power from any source? If you are considering absorbed power, means current should enter from positive. Absorbed power means it's your passive element. If it is delivering power, means current should enter from negative. It is an active element now. Okay. Let's take different. If you are not understanding, please let me know or put some comment that I'm not getting this particular point, or it will be simply looking like I'm speaking to in front of anyone when no one is interested to listen or understand. Okay, I'm taking another numerical. If you're not getting anything in this, please let me know. We will see so many different things in this particular numerical itself to clear your different doubts. Okay. When you will start preparing for this important point will be useful for you. Okay, so better stay focused. Now, first of all, we need to find out I1. Find I. Again, we will be referring node analysis. Okay. First of all, find out number of nodes. Try to find out number of nodes present in the circuit. How many nodes do we have in this particular numeric? Total number of nodes. Let me know, please, fast. Santushti, Purval, Anam, Pranay. Try to find out number of nodes. Okay. In this numerical, we will see different things: current, power, voltage, different. All this particular point can be considered as one node. This can also be considered as one node. This can also be considered as one node. This can also be considered as one node. Is it correct or not? 1, 2, 3, and 4. As per my observation, we have 4 nodes. Is there any another node which I am forgetting?
No, sir.
Is it okay? Okay. So here we have 4 nodes. Okay. The value of this node 1 volt is already given to you. So no need to mark it VP or VC. Okay. You already know the value of this voltage across this particular node is 1 volt. So you can mark it A. So voltage across this voltage will be VA. You can mark it B. Okay, but one has to be considered as a reference node, and majority of the element connected with this particular nodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we have only 3. Okay, now this is also 4. So either consider this as a node or this as a. So you can consider this one as and reference node. The reference node is at 0 place. So actual node is VA and VB. We have two actual nodes, and this one is also a node, but the value of this particular node is known to us. Okay, so this cannot be considered as a unknown node. So our unknown node or variable is only two. We have VA as well as VB. Okay, we can simply write the equation of VA and VB. Means here from here we can draw two different equations. One by applying KCL at node A, another by applying KCL at node B. Now by applying equation at node A, how we can write down equation of node A? Conventionally we can write VA minus, look at this, VA minus VB. Write down. Is it correct? This 1 ohm is connected between node A and node B. Okay, so I can write VA minus VB divided by 1. Correct? Okay, now for this I can write VA minus of 1 volt. It is given to you. Even if you consider it as a VC, you will be writing down VA minus VC divided by 1. Then later on you will be writing VC equals to 1. So simply directly write 1 volt. Okay, it's a 1 volt. So you can directly write VA minus 1 divided by 1. Okay, the current source, it is going towards, it will be negative. So minus. So conventionally you can write down in this way, VA minus VA for this branch. So VA minus VB. So VA minus VB divided by 1. So VA minus VB divided by 1. Then VA minus 1 divided by 1. So VA minus 1 divided by 1. Okay, and then for this VA minus 0 divided by 1. VA minus 0 divided by 1. You know, then current source going towards negative, minus. Instead of this, you could have directly written VA element connected with A 1, 2, and 3. So 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. Reciprocal of all. Then VB minus VB divided by 1, minus VB divided by 1. Then this one, so minus of 1 divided by 1. So minus of 1 divided by 1. And for current source, minus 1. Same. You can directly write as this one. Okay. So VA. Here we have the equation of VA. Minus of VB, or simply replace it by actual calculation. So this will be your 3VA minus VB equals to 2. If you solve it, you will get this answer. Okay, now moving on to next one. Apply KCL at node 2. Apply KCL at node 2. Node 2 means your VB. At VB, it will be, now I will be writing down directly. VB, number of element 1, 1, and 1. So 1 by 1, 1 by 1, 1 by 1. Okay. So VB, 1 by 1, 1 by 1, and 1 by 1. Now VA, so minus VA divided by 1. Okay. VA minus VA divided by 1. And this one, so minus 1 divided by 1, minus 1 divided by 1. We don't have any current source connected with this stuff. Okay. So again, you can simplify it. After simplifying, you will be getting 3VB minus of VA equals to 1. If you have a calculator, use it. Now calculate the value of VA and VB. What is the value of VA and VB? We will see some other thing also in this particular. What is the value of VA and VB? Find out. We have two equations. First one is 3VA minus VB equals to 2, and your second equation is 3VB minus VA equals to 1. Let me write 3VA minus VB. 3VA minus VB equals to 2. This was your equation number 1. Now find out value of VA and VB. VA
7 by 8 and 5 by 8.
7 by 8 and 5 by 8. Okay. Is it correct? Rest of the student? Okay. Let's consider this as a correct one. Now we need to find what value of current I. And what is the value of current I? Current I is current flowing through this branch. Current I is the current flowing through this particular branch. Okay. So what will be the value of I? Current is flowing from A towards B. Means this current will be VA minus VB divided by 1. Okay. So current I. So I will be VA. This is a simple one. VA minus VB divided by 1. Okay. Try to get the value of it. 7 by 8 minus 5 by 8 divided by 1. So this I is your 0.25. This is your I. Now, so far it was simple how to find out the value of current. Now, if power in the network, complete power dissipated in the network as asked. Now, let's add on. Find total power dissipated in the network. Find total power dissipated in the network. Okay. We can solve this by two different ways. First one, we know power consumption or power absorbed or power dissipated takes place only in resistance and inductor and capacitor, no power dissipated. Okay, we have here we have 4 resistors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 4 resistors with us in this particular network. So to find out total power dissipated in the network, what can be done? We can individually find the power dissipated of this, and this. Okay, then we can add all the dissipated power. That will be your total dissipated power of the network. Okay, this can be considered as a first method. Okay, now second method, to find out the power dissipated of the network, we know total power dissipated is equals to total power absorbed. Definitely total power absorbed is equals to total power dissipated, and we have only 2 sources with us in this particular network. So first method is either to find out power dissipated in all the passive elements, then add on. Okay, or you can find out the same value by getting power delivered by this source as well as this source. Means total power delivered by both the sources. This will be same. So you can find out by both the methods. First, we will try to find out by finding we will try to find out the same power by calculating power delivered by both the sources. Okay, so at least you will get the idea how to find out power delivered by any particular source. So first of all, try to find out power dissipated in all the impedances. Let's take the first circuit. No, power dissipated. Okay. To find out power dissipated, we have formula which is I square R. Remember one thing, whenever you are finding out power dissipated in passive element, you will be using this I square R. And whenever you are going to find out power delivered by source, okay, power delivered or absorbed by source, you will be using power equals to V into I. Okay, remember this. So here we are going to find out power dissipated by individual elements. let's assume any direction of the current. Let's mark it I1. This is mark I2. Okay, doesn't matter. You can mark any direction of current, but I have told you one thing. If you are first considering the direction of current, means your polarity for passive element should be such that current should enter from positive. Okay, so this will be I3. Then we have zero potential. This was already I. Okay. Now, we can find I1, I2, I3, and I4. Can we find value of I1? What will be the value of I1? I1 will be VA minus 0 divided by 1. Is it okay? What will the value of I2? It will be VA minus, what was the voltage? This voltage was 1 volt. Okay. This will be VA minus 1 divided by 1. This will be I2. What will be the value of I3? This will be 1 minus VB divided by 1. What will be the value of I4? This will be VB minus 0 divided by 1 I4. So we can find out all the currents. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So I1, what will be the value of I1? I1, I will be simply writing VA minus 0 divided by 1. Okay. VA minus 0 divided by 1. Okay. Now I2, I2 VA minus 1 divided by 1. I2 VA minus 1 divided by 1. Then I3, what will be the value of I3? 1 minus VB. Okay. So 1 minus I3, 1 minus VB divided by 1. Then last is your I4. I4 VB minus 0 divided by 1. Right? So I4 VB minus 0 divided by 1. We have the value of VA as well as VB. Means we can simply find value of I1, I2, and I3. Try to find out value of I1, I2, and I3. What is the value of I1, I2, and I3? I1, I2, I3. Get the value of I1, I2, I3, I4. All the currents. What is the value of I1? We have the value of VA. VA is your, what is the value of VA? VA 7 by 8 and V2 is your 5 by 8. Okay, 7 by 8 and 5 by 8. So 7 by 8 minus 0 divided by 1. This is also 7 by 8 minus 1 divided by 1. This is your 5 by 8. This is your 5 by 8. Okay. Try to find the value of I1, I2, I3, and I4. I1. I1 will be simply 7 by 8. So divided by 1, no sense. 7 by 8. This will be 7 by 8 minus
Minus 1 by 8.
1 by 8. Okay. So I1 हो जाएगा आपका. I1 will be 7 by 8. I2 will be minus 1 by 8. I3 will be
3 by 8.
3 by 8. Okay. And I4
5 upon 32.
I4 will be how much? 5 by 8.
5 by 32.
5 by 32. 5 by 8. One more thing. Sorry, we have written I4 in an improper way. VB minus 0 divided by what it should be?
1.
VB minus 0 divided by 1 should be 1. So we should have written here 1. Okay, so this will be again 5 by 8. Okay, so I4 5 by 8. Now we need one more current, which is your I. What is the value of I? We have already calculated the value of I. What it was? 0.25. Okay, 0.25. Value of current I is your 0.25. Okay, now we have current flowing through all the branches. Now we can simply find out power dissipated in individual elements. We can find out power dissipated in this branch, this branch, this branch, this branch, and this branch. Okay, so we have I1 is square into 1. Resistance of all the branch is 1. So we can simple write I1 square, I2 square into 1. Okay. Power loss in this branch, I2 square 1. In this branch, I3 square into 1. In this branch, I4 square into 1. In this branch, I square into 1. Okay. By default, resistance is 1. So we can simply write I3 square into 1. Then I4 square into 1. And then last one is your I. Current flowing through this branch is I. So I square into 1. So plus I square into 1. Now, tell me the value of I1, I2, I3, I4. Okay, what is the value of I1 to 1? Right? Then what is the value of I2? Minus 1 by 8. So minus 1 by 8 square into 1. Right? I3 would be 3 by 8 square into 1. Right? Then what is the value of I4? It was 5 by 8 square into 1. And last is your value of I. It was 0.25 square. And find out the final answer. It will be in what? How much? What you are getting?
11 by 8.
Yeah, total 11 by 8. Is it correct? 5 by 8 square, 11 by 8. Okay, so 11 by 8 in decimal?
1.375.
In 1.375 watt. So this is your total power consumption of the network. Okay, so this particular power dissipated or power consumption we have calculated by individually calculating power dissipated across every element. Okay, now we have one more method to find out the total power absorbed in the network. We know total power delivered is equal to total power. So next, for alternate method, we will try to find out power delivered by this source as well as this source, and we will add on this power delivered by both the sources, and this should be equals to which one? This one, 1.375. Okay. Let's take this particular slide. Power distributed by considering active elements. First of all, if we need to find out power delivered by this source, how we can find out for source? We must consider this formula, which is V power equals to V into R. We know the voltage across this. What is the voltage across this? What was the voltage? It was given in numerical. It was 1 volt. 1 volt. 1 volt. Okay, it was 1 volt. So only task left with us is to find out current flowing through this particular voltage source, current supplied by this particular voltage source. So by multiplying voltage into current, we can find out the power delivered by this voltage source. Okay, how we can find out the current? We can simple assume direction of current, any direction of current, but are we considering this source as a delivered power delivery source or power absorbing source? We are considering it as a power delivery source. Means we are considering it as an active element. So if it is an active element, what should be the direction of it? Current should enter from negative or positive? Negative. Current should enter from negative, means my direction must be like this. It should be like this. Is it correct? Current is entering from negative. Okay. Can I apply KCL at this particular point? If I apply KCL at this particular point, apply KCL at 1 volt. Apply KCL at 1 volt. This is your 1 volt potential. At this point, summation of incoming current. Incoming current is your I2 as well as IS, right? So I2 plus IS. So I2 plus IS is equals to your
I3.
I3. Okay, right. We need to calculate value of IS. Okay, so it will be your I3 minus I2. We have value of I2 as well as I3. Okay, what was the value of I3? I3 3 by 8. Okay, 3 by 8. And I2 it was minus 1. So value of IS will be 4 by 8. 4 by 8. This is the value of IS. Now after getting value of IS, which is the current particular formula, simply I will be writing power equals to V into I. Okay, what is the voltage? Voltage is your 1. Okay, 1 volt is the voltage of this particular voltage source. Multiply by IS. Multiply by IS is your 4 by 8. So means power delivered is your 4 by 8. Or in decimal, you can simply write 0.5. Okay, check out this. Is it correct one? 0.5.
Yes, sir.
Now, next we have one more source, which is this one. We need to calculate power delivered by this particular source also. Okay, then we will add both the delivered power. This should be your total delivered power of the network. Now, again, power delivered formula for power delivered will be V into I. We know the current. Now, we must find out the voltage across this. Okay, so are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I consider this particular voltage as this same voltage across this ampere 1 ampere source will same as voltage across this 1 ohm? Is it okay? Voltage across this 1 ampere will be same as voltage across this 1 ohm branch as they are connected in parallel. Okay,
Yes, sir.
means I can simply find the voltage across this. How I can find? We know the current I1 and we know the resistance. So I1 into 1, this will be the voltage across this, and it will be simply, instead of this complete, let me draw this short. Okay, this was your I1 and this was 1. Okay, this is your 1 ampere, and let me consider this as V1, which is the voltage across 1 ampere. Okay, how I can find V1? V1 is equals to I1 into 1, as this and this are in parallel. Okay, parallel. So what is the value of I1?
7 by 8.
7 by 2. So V1 itself 7 by 8. Now, how I can find out power delivered by 1 ampere source V into I? So V into I. Value of voltage is 7 by 8 into I. I is 1 ampere, means power delivered 7 by 8 in decimal. It is coming out to be, let it be. Now, total power delivered. Total power delivered by the sources of the given network. We have two sources. Okay, power delivered by first source is 0.5 and power delivered by second source is 7.8, right? So total power delivered is 0.5 plus 7 by 8. Solve it. How much you are getting?
1.375.
1.375 watt. It must be same as repeated form. Okay, so this is 1.375, and by using power dissipated formula, we calculated there. Yeah, this is 1.375. This is also here 1.375. So you can simply calculate power dissipated by both the methods. Either find out power absorbed by individual elements and add on them, or simply find out the power delivered by the sources present in the circuit. Okay. Now, one more thing. You can also solve this particular numerical by mesh analysis. Can you? You can easily find out how we can use the mesh analysis for this particular numerical. Tell me. We have done by node analysis. We have seen value of current I. We have already seen power dissipated as well as power absorbed. But if we again need to find this value of current I by using mesh analysis, how we can do this? The requirement of mesh analysis. First requirement Should we have all the voltage sources or current source?
Voltage sources.
Voltage sources. So we can convert this particular current source into a voltage one, right? After converting this, we'll be getting okay. So I by mesh. Now, if I need to solve this particular numerical by mesh analysis, what I can do, I can convert this particular current source into a voltage. Okay, this will be a voltage source. V I into I. This will be a 1 volt. Okay. Now, no need to mark this current further. No need to mark this current. We can simply apply loop, mesh loop. This can be considered as I1, right? This can be considered as I2, or this can be considered as I3. You can simply write down mesh equation. What will be the equation of loop 1? It will be minus 1 into I1, or for this plus 1 plus, so plus 1. Okay. Similarly, you can apply in all the 3 loops, and the value of I will be equals to value of your current I3. Is it correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mesh analysis, you can solve it more easily, but it will be difficult for you to find out different parameters. If I similarly ask you to find out the power delivered, power absorbed, it will be quite easily for node analysis. If you're preferring node analysis, it will be quite easy for you to calculate different parameters, voltage across different branches, current, or especially power delivered and power absorbed. Okay. Now, let's see another. You will receive this PDF. Let's have a general image. Shall I send some sample node analysis numerical for practice purpose in the group? If you are interested, I can send some sample numericals related to GATE exam for practice purpose. So no one is interested.
सर कर दीजिए सेंड.
Okay. This is a simple general problem. Simply apply logic, common sense, and try to find out the value. Find I. If V equals to 10 volt. Find I if V equals to 10 volt. How we can do this? How you can find out the value of I if V equals to 10 volt? There is no particular method. Simply, whenever you receive any kind of a complex circuit or disturbing circuit, first try to simplify that particular circuit. Can I simplify this particular circuit in this way? In this way, consider this particular point as X. Give any name. Give any name. X. Okay. With respect to this X point, can I draw this circuit in a linear way? Let me consider this point as X. Okay. With this X point, we have current source 4 ohm, 2 ohm, 5 ohm, all terminal of all the branches. One terminal of all the branches is connected with this X point. So can I draw this all these elements in sequence starting from 5, suppose? Starting from 5, then 5, I, 4 and 2. 5, I, 4 and 2. 5, I current source, 4 and 2. Is it okay? 5, I, 4, 2. 5, I, 4 and 2. This is the common point. This is the common point. Okay. Now, your next target is to see element connected between 4 and 1 ampere. 4 and current source. 5 and current source. Nothing. Simple short circuit between 5 and I. So between 5 and I, you can short. Now, between I and 4 ohm, again it's a short. Between I and 4, again it's a short. Then between 2 and 4, again it's a short. Again it's a short. Simple. Between V and 5, again it's a short. So V and 5. Where is the V? 2 ohm. Between 2 and 5. 2 and 5, again it's a complete short circuit match. Then voltage across 2 ohm. Voltage across 2 ohm. Okay, that's why I'm keeping this minus here, minus with this x. Okay, now voltage, value of voltage is given to you. This is your 10 volt, so you can write value of this voltage equals to 10. Now, can you find value of this current? Now it's easy. Can you find this value of current? How you can find out? Only one source is present in the circuit, means definitely current must be coming from here. It is getting divided at this particular point. One might be flowing at this direction and one at this direction. After coming to this. Is it correct? Direction of current? Is it correct? Down. At this point, down. Okay. Means if I name it I1, name it I2, and name it I3, what should be the value of I? I must be your I1 plus I2 plus I3. Is it okay? We can easily find the value of I1, I2, and I3. So for I3, what will be the value of I3? I3 will be simply 10 by 2, right? What will be the value of I2? It will be 10 by 4. What will be the value of I1? It will be 10 by 5. Now you can add. So I1, value of I1 will be value of I1, 10 by 2. This is your 5. This is I2, 10 by 4. It will be 2.5. And I3, 10 by 5. It will be 2. Means your I is
9.5.
9.5. Simple. So I equals I1. This was the general numerical, not belongs to particular nodal analysis or mains or anything else. Okay. समझ में आया इतना आप लोगों को?
Yes sir.
मैं ये दोनों आप लोगों को सेंड कर दे रहा हूँ और कुछ प्रैक्टिस न्यूमेरिकल कल या 1-2 दिन बाद में सेंड कर, अगर वो आप लोगों को नहीं जमते तो आप लोग मुझे पर्सनल व्हाट्सएप पे भी डिस्कस कर सकते हो, ठीक है?
जी सर.
ओके.